from this Villa crowd. And why wouldn't you be? What a way to end the game. What was that feeling like when you saw that hit the back of the net, Emmy?
Incredible, because this team, I think the last couple of weeks we showed some character. Some games coming from behind in the games. The other night in Brentford was really tough, and the team showed an incredible character as well as to fight, to come back the game. And today, against the top team in the table, we did it again. So we fight until the last minute, the last second. So it's a really incredible win.
Matty, what a win. How big does that feel, beating Arsenal here?
Yeah, fantastic. I think, obviously, we knew it was going to be a really demanding game. But I think we were fantastic, and the crowd here today helped us through right at the end. And honestly, yeah, that was the craziest I've ever been. But now, so happy, for this man as well.
Yeah. Feels like ages ago that you actually put Villa in front. But how much did you want to exploit that Arsenal gave you in that first half?
No, yeah, it's what we spoke about, to be fair. In the first half as well, having John a little bit more inside and then me on the overlap. And there was a chance I had right before as well that I maybe could have done a bit better. But yeah, I just saw it and I hit it first time. It was nice.
Great goal. What about the way Aston Villa started this season? It was a really difficult start. And now you're second in the Premier League table. What does that say about this team?
Like I said before, some character, trust the process. Like the manager said, every single thing in the team, believing in what we do, in what we can do in this tough league. So yeah, I think we are showing every game we are doing big steps. So we need to continue this work, and we have many good games ahead.
The crowd seems so up for it today. What can Villa achieve this season?
Anything. Obviously, we've got to take it game by game, and just keep working hard and taking it in our stride. But at the minute, we're on a great run. But we know it's not even Christmas yet, so we have to keep being demanding.
A real sucker punch to lose the game with near enough the last kick of it. How do you sum up the match we've just seen out there?
Yeah, in the manner that it happened at the end, obviously, really difficult to take. In the first half we had moments. Obviously, had the best chance after, I think it's a foul on Ricky that Watkins goes through. After that, we started to control the game and had some good situations. You are always on the edge, especially when you don't manage the ball well when you regain it, and we didn't do that very well in the first half. And in the second half, we started really well, scored a goal. We were very dominant. But then we had periods that, again, the same issue appeared, and then we couldn't have the dominance, and we allowed certain open spaces. We gave 2 balls away ourselves to the opponent that could have cost us the game before actually the goal. And then the last kick of the game, we had the chance with Declan puts the ball across for Noni and Victor. We don't score. Goal kick long, second ball, clear the ball, individual action, a lot of chaos inside the box, and you end up losing it. So it is painful.
In the second half particularly, it seemed quite difficult for either side to get any sustained control. Why do you think that was?
Well, I think it's the manner that we play, the quality that's on the pitch, and the moment somebody beats his own man and a duel, the space is open. And they are really good at that. Credit to them for what they do. They are a really good side. And we had our moments to go and score the second goal. We were very, very close in a few times. And at the end, I said, after 18 games unbeaten, which is a long run, you need to lift up and go again.
Do you see this as a missed opportunity, especially with playing first this weekend, where you could have gone 8 points clear? It's now 3 points to Villa in second.
Yes, but every week is going to be like this. I mean, we are 18 games unbeaten, and you're still the margin so small. So this is what we have to do. We have to focus on ourselves and certain standards that today, particularly individually, we didn't raise that level, and the effort was absolutely there, and use that pain to go again. That's football.
How do you ensure then that this defeat today doesn't derail any good momentum you've built up, particularly mentally in that dressing room?
Well, because the consistency levels that we showed with everything that happened to us has been incredible, so I have no arguments to think otherwise.
Thanks, Mikel.
Thank you.
Unai, congratulations. You said to us before the game, you love games like this, testing yourself against the best team in the league right now. So what does this win mean to you?
Good afternoon. Yeah, so happy. We finished this week really playing like we need, firstly competing, being demanding ourselves, adapting of the opponent, but playing personality. And we play really personality, dominating sometimes, getting their box, being intense and aggressive when we needed it. And so happy because Villa Park is special. The supporters, they transmit their energy. Of course, we need to transmit our energy to them, and we did it. And then play football. And how they are responding, the players, is really fantastic.
After the way Aston Villa started this season, it was a really tough start for your team. Now, you're second in the league. How have you turned this around, and what can this team achieve this season?
It's playing today Manchester City. Of course, we are going to focus game by game, because we know our only success way is coming if we are doing like that. Trying to focus each competition. Now we are going to play Europa League. Of course, Premier League is our first target. Through it, we must get our objective collectively. And of course, how we are doing, how we are competing, how we are more or less sometimes even struggling, but reacting and quick, again, responding like we did today. I think this is the most important through the players. The players, they are the protagonists, and today they show it.
Thank you very much, Unai.
Thank you.
Wolves are at home next in the Premier League after the Champions League trip to Bruges in the week. You have to remember, this is Arsenal's first defeat in 97 days here.
Yeah, you know, and what was interesting as well is not losing for 18 games, and it's still, the margins are really short, really small. But like, again, you're listening to a manager who knows exactly where he is, what the team's capable of, what they should be doing, what can happen if you don't do certain things right. And he was right, they were individually, they done some good stuff to continue to create against us. And that's what's going to happen for the rest of the season. That's why to win these games, to get the cushion, is because you're going to come up against teams that are going to be tough to beat like that. And you go away, you might get a point, but then you might lose, and then the cushion helps you to build your confidence so you can get those points back next week. But what you don't want to get into, Steve, is losing those games and then losing another one, not winning at home, and then all of a sudden people catch you up, go past you, and then you'll feel the pressure of not being able to finish this off. But he sounds really good. He sounds very, very, focused.
This is the psychological side as well.
Yeah, and so he should be, really, because they've been on a fantastic run. They've conceded in the last minute of the game here, and that'll hurt, definitely, on the way down back to London again, and over the weekend it'll hurt. And it doesn't really matter. I don't think for 1 minute he'll be thinking of what might have been. Oh, well, listen, if we could have won today, we'd have gone 8 points clear, at least for 10 minutes or whatever the case may be. So no, I don't think any of those thoughts are going through his head. It's just been beaten today. Yep. So, but you start again. But they built up in that unbeaten run. They built up a great spirit. They built up a strength, a will not to get beaten in matches. And that will stand them in great stead over the course of the season. The truth is this year, I think that we all think here at this minute, any team who finished this particular season in front of Arsenal probably going to win the league.
Okay. So. Reaction on the way, but we're still trying to digest it here, really. I mean, it was incredible drama from Villa there.
Wasn't it just, I was just trying to think about what the two managers were going through at that stage. I believe that if the minute that Arsenal got off the bus, if you had said to Arteta, I'll take this draw here today, they'd taken it all day long and just got back down to London again. And for Emery then thinking a couple of chances, one that's gone across the box about 15 minutes earlier, and thinking, well, that's it now. Then there's a scramble in the penalty box, and you're looking around and you're thinking, you wonder who's going to get the touch to it, and your man gets it and Buendia puts it in the net. It's extraordinary, and an extraordinary feeling that they will have going into the dressing room now.
I think as well, Martin, you have to look at the substitutions he made. Marlon coming on offensive, Buendia coming on offensive. So I think that maybe should have been the signal to Arsenal, is like, right, let's shut up shop now, because they're.
What you're saying is here, the game management wasn't quite right for Arsenal.
No, not when we got into 80. I think once you get into 85 minutes, you start getting past that. Martin will know more. Obviously, being a manager, knows what he wants to take in that moment. I think that Arsenal go in there. Let's face it, Villa with the chances they had, they could have won the game with the chances they had. I think you then say, right, let's take what we've got now and get back to London, Mark.
I have the utmost regard for you, Ray, but here's my point. I think some players have to take responsibility. You mentioned Madueke should have run it into the corner.
Yeah.
These are the type of things. The manager would be encouraging him to do exactly that.
Yeah.
So, you're talking about the man management or the game management time, then sometimes it's not down just to the manager. He would have been shouting those, although Madueke wouldn't have been able to have heard him, but he would have been shouting, take it to the corner.
So your point is players on the pitch at that point should take responsibility.
I think you know this. These are not young players anymore. You should know this. You know the last 5 minutes of a match is going to be very tight. You'll know what the manager's thinking. He will have taken the draw. Now, it's great to be offensive and it's great to be thinking that you can score in the last minute. And if you did get it, let's say Madueke had broken through and then suddenly something opened up for him, he scored a goal. There'd be nobody back in the dressing room saying, "Oh, we were going for that." I remember one particular incident at Nottingham Forest in a European Cup game when a lad called Colin Barrett made this big run against Liverpool. We're 1-0 up and the management team are desperate for him to stay put. He keeps running and they're shouting at him to get back. He scores the goal and it's, oh, fantastic. Yeah. So what I'm saying is that the game can change, but absolutely, definitely, that Arsenal would have taken the draw there with 5 minutes to go.
Yes.
Is it too simple to say, if you've won the league and been there before, that you do that, you feel it, you smell it?
But you could say that now when you lose a game like that at that stage of the game. You could say, it's because they haven't done that. But I have to agree with Martin. Naturally, as a forward, if we're getting into that stage of the game when they're putting pressure on, they've just put 2 forwards on, 2 offensive, then you naturally know, Steve, that I'm going to start running into corner flags now. Because like a point at Villa at this stage is good. And I think a lot more people will lose points at Villa Park.
Of course.
But it would have been a good one to take.
Away from home, you're against the side who are right up alongside you. And this is a very, very important stage of the season. Every game, I suppose, is. But now coming into Christmas, and the last thing you want to do is just surrender that great record that you've had in the circumstance that you've had. Had Villa scored 15 minutes earlier and you then are desperate to try and get an equaliser yourself, you'd fine, absolutely, change all sorts of plans. But when you're holding on to something then at the end of the day, and you've had a little bit of luck about 10 minutes earlier, take that luck and just run it into the corner.
Could Arsenal have done anything more with the goal? I mean, they put 2 or 3 tremendous blocks in the build-up, didn't they?
Well, this is what I'm saying. I thought it was brilliant defending. I was hoping that someone would clear it, but the way it was going, the way Buendia, you could just see where Buendia is. He just stays in and around it. He has a shot there. Yeah. You know what I mean? He passes it there, but then he gets up and he's just staying involved, waiting for something scratch. But then that's the composure. Yeah. He's waiting for something, and the composure is to not just slash it. He's placed it in past the goalkeeper. Great save from the goalie, great block from Timber there, great block from them again there. But then you can see he's just waiting. He's just waiting, Buendia, on the edge of things, like what's it called, flankers, to get the ball and throw it out again. He's just, and that's a good finish. Yeah. And I'll give Villa that. You know what I mean? Because they kept going. They've done well.
Yeah, I don't think that Arsenal could have done much more in that penalty box. They've got bodies behind it. They've tried to block it off, and the ball's just flukily come out again. That's the point. But overall, it's the minutes leading up to that that were the concern for them.
And Villa's character to keep going.
Of course, yeah. Well, that's the manager. We've praised him all day long. And so he might as well take the credit for it.
He's got to get credit for that, Steve, because he's brought 2 forwards on at the depth there. You know what I mean? Now Villa, 3 points behind. They'll feel confident. They started the season pretty poorly after, everything that happened to them last season, missing out on Champions League, not being able to sign players and starting the season so badly. Now they've got themselves in a position where they're 3 points behind the leaders, who everybody's talking about as, who's going to catch Arsenal? Now they're 3 points behind them, so they will be full of confidence in that. And then this is a good test for us again, because we've got to, at some stage, take the baton of we're going to try and finish this off. You're going to get games like that, and you have to try and finish them off, Steve. You have to take something from it. You can't lose games.
So Villa are 3 points behind in December. So, I mean, the question is, I guess, in this crazy old season, are they in the title race?
Of course
they are.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
They can win the title.
They can win the title. A number of teams can win the title. Will they win it? It might be a totally different thing. And it will depend, really, on their major players staying fit. I think that's the big thing. Now, also like Arsenal, like Manchester City, I suppose they're in European football. That does take it out of you, depending on what sort of mentality you have, what sort of feeling you have towards the Europa League, for instance, that Aston Villa could win. They are capable of winning it. There's no question about it, because I feel, particularly in the Europa League, that the English teams are pretty strong. But what now that you've put yourself into a position of trying to win the league, I think if you were asking the little manager, I think he would think, well, yeah, I think if you give me the Premier League title, I can think about Europe in another 5 years.